Uncle Mark here with another video working on my 1996 Buick with a 3800 Series 2. You may recall I did a previous version where I was hoping, sillily enough, to stop an antifreeze leak by maybe tightening some bolts on the pump. I couldn't see where it was leaking. I thought maybe it's, just a little bit loose, which it almost seemed to be. It looks like it's probably leaking in the shaft. It's not leaking. The weep hole might be plugged. I don't know. It is leaking. Let's take a look and see how hard it is to do. I woke up to a little bit of snow this morning. And it looks like it's been leaking. So I guess confirmed we need a water pump, which is actually on order. I just want to make sure that this is the right pump because I want to take it all apart and find out if there's something. Oh, there's it's a metal gasket. And that's the pump, and it looks like, I think it goes this way actually. It looks like the one that's on there. Whoa. Car on some jack stands. If you come under here with me, I'll show you what the problem is right off. If you look under here, there's a bunch of bolts holding this plastic pan on here, and we want to get in under here. So some bolts. One, two, some back here. There's one there, one in the middle. Sorry, in the middle. Should be one right. Should be one right there. And then we get back under here. Looks like they're 10s. Hopefully they come off nice and easy for you. I've had these off before, so I put some flute film on them. I believe it was this car. They seem to be coming off fairly easy. We've had this off before. And let's just get them all off. I'll take them off and then we'll take this pan off together. How's that? Move that out of the way. Then we're going to come over here. Is this it here? You may have a hard time figuring out where it is, but so it's on the driver's side here. You'll see a hole right here, and you can access it from the back, and that's where you're going to drop your antifreeze from. And if we go under here together, we'll be able to see it. It is right. Well, here's the hole. So it's just above the hole, which is right about where my fingers are. I can see, feel it. Let me see up in there. Feel like that's right. Well, I don't mind telling you it's not going to be something easy to find. There it is. Look at that. Right there. Give it a turn. Which way do we need to go? That's the next question. So turn it counterclockwise. What is counterclockwise? This kitty's is a clock. See the way the hand is ticking? Go the opposite direction. Counterclockwise. Just for the millennials. Just teasing, guys. It's coming out slow. Just open your cap. This should be cool, right? Hopefully it's cold. Coming out a little better. I don't want to splash all out like crazy. That's probably good for now. Just let her drain. I was going to show you the bottle here was empty in the first place. Well, it's still empty. Well, it could be sucking it back to the rat now, but it was pretty much empty. Well, one of the first things you're going to want to do after you do the antifreeze is make sure you undo these pulley bolts first, because you won't get them off without trying to turn the engine. Now, I just happen to have looks like it's an 8mm 5/16 is just a little bit loose. Now you're gonna have trouble because you're gonna be able to get a couple of these bolts, and then you're not gonna be able to get the rest. So if you have a buddy, it would help, but if you can mark something here, just so then we know that these are not the ones we want. I'm gonna try and just turn it over a little bit. Just using a tire marking pencil or whatever to do that. $50-50 chance, right? You guys know what the answer is. Did it go too far? It didn't. Amazing enough. We'll take our 8mm again. We've done that one, obviously. We'll do these two. Hopefully the lighting is okay and I'm not blocking it too much. Oh, darn, the bottom one. Still need one more. Where'd my pencil go now? So it's not this one either. We're gonna have to take these marks off after. It's this one. We'll put a little loopy around it. Give it another quick turn. Turn it 50-50 again. Not a mathematician, so oh good, we've got a room there. You guys saw what was going on, you knew it was gonna work. Just need to loosen it enough. There we go. Just enough so that when we take this off, this is gonna want to spin. And you'll never, well, it'll be really hard to undo them. We'll go with the tensioner next. It's, I believe, a 15mm, and I was having trouble pulling it up because, I don't know, it's got an issue. So I'm gonna try and put, I'm not suggesting this, but too loud, and then I have a little more leverage. I'm gonna pull the belt off the top there. And hopefully we will remember how this all goes in here later. It's not really hard to figure out, but move the belt out of the way. Good. Now here's where, see how this spins? If you have to turn these bolts with something to get them off, because they were tight, you'd never get them off. I'm just gonna grab them with my hands here. Be really careful where you're putting these too, because if you lose them, you go to a GM dealer trying to get them, they won't have them in stock. This is just because there's some bolts behind here, like this one. You'll need this off for that. Plus you need it off to put the new one on anyway. Oh, wow, that one's not gonna come off, is it? And that was what, an 18mm, which I have written down on my 18mm. I don't think so. 8mm. 18mm. No. Just needed to grab an 8mm. Good thing I noticed it now because I want to make a list at the start of the tools you're going to need. And I wouldn't want to screw that up. Just wipe the one off of there. 8mm. There we go. Should just come off. Wow. Oh, guess there's one more. Hey, it happens. Give you an idea how this is going anyway for time. Should just pop off. There you go. Look at the antifreeze sitting in there. I'm sure it's leaking from the shaft, you know. Something interesting I've noticed too is it's got little pins here, one there and one there. So it'll only go on a certain way when you put it on the back on. Or at least you want to make sure those line up in there. Before I forget, I'm going to just spray this with some brake clean because I hope that's going to come off easy. These little chalk marks, I want them off. Whoa. You guys still with me? I want that stuff off because when I go to put it back on, we're probably going to have to do the same because I don't have a buddy to help me. And I don't want to mix up my marks with the marks that were on here. That brake clean works good for everything, doesn't it? Probably could spray some in here too, just to clean up any of the old antifreeze that was in there. That way it's not flopping around or hitting the belt or any of that kind of stuff. Okay. And I hear this thing still leaking here. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like much there, but it's at least, I don't know, a third of the pan or something. So I'm going to just close that little bung there on the radiator. Because I'm sure most of the, I've got enough out of there. Seems like it's 3/8, but it's not really. It's not a 10. Am I going to hurt these? Hope not. It's not an 8. I don't know. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this is 3/8, right? It's a 3/8, but 10 is sloppier. If you've got something that works better. But I'm using a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point. I had to count. Whoa! You guys okay? I'm just thinking if you use a 12 point, now let's try and sit your back down there. Just hang on, guys. Just saying if you use the 12 point or something, I think you'll strip it. Just hoping I can get all these. I'm not sure about that guy. And these might be 10s. Those ones. What are the bigger ones? Maybe those are 12s. Looks like these bigger ones are 13s. Just hoping I can... I'd like to be able to get this guy off without having to move the water pump. Maybe we should try that first. Get a 13 in here and just see it. Just hope. I want to wreck it or something. I think I'm wrecking it. There's no way we can get anything else in there. Darn pump. Well, while we think about that, let's get the rest of these off. Let's try and loosen this, of course. Sure. It's just the way it is, huh? If I can just loosen it, I can get a... Get it from underneath. Let's see what I'm doing. Not an easy thing to get at. I'm fighting the, what do you call it? Accessory belt. I'm just going to loosen them and then I can get my ratcheting wrench in here. And that looks like it's a 13. You would think there's got to be a bolt underneath too. Oh yeah, there's one here. What size is that? Probably the same as these. Let me see if I can feel it. Or even see it. See it and feel it? It looks like it's probably one of these guys, maybe. Huh? Why can't we just all be the same size bolts? That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Sorry, I can't show you this. But this wrench does not. It's a flex wrench, but it's kind of, it needs Viagra or something. Watch. There you go. I've tried tightening it up and I can't tighten it up. Go see my doctor, I guess. If you're offended by that, I apologize. I meant nothing by it. It's just my weird sense of humor. Think it's gonna leak something? Am I glad we're doing this inside because it's cold out, as you saw earlier. Not bad in here. Feet are kind of cold, but the temperature of the floor is probably whatever it is outside. Maybe not. I think inside, I think it was like 4 degrees Celsius when I first started in here, which is what, 34 or something Fahrenheit, somewhere in there. But it has warmed up in here, so that's good. We're gonna remember where these go? I guess we will, because they probably only fit one way. Antifreeze gonna come out? Is the bolt gonna come out? That's the question. Oh my goodness. You know what? It's not going to, but you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna leave it there. Because it's past the block. So it's gonna be a monkey thing to get back in. But I think if we just leave it there, we can pull the whole thing off. Monkey around with the bolts a little bit. We will see. It is so close. Wow. I know, they didn't engineer it for us to work on it. So you can imagine what they would charge to do this at a dealership. In their defense, wherever you're getting to do this, if you don't do it yourself, and it's turning out to be a little bit of fun. If you had a couple days or something like that, I'm sure you could do it for sure. I don't know, I'm hoping. I've been kind of farting around with this for about an hour. Total, finding, you know, missing tools, and still missing a couple tools. My own fault, I was working on something else, I didn't put them away. I thought wherever I put them, then I put something else on top of it. You probably know the story. But, of course, because everything's kind of getting antifreezy now, it's getting slimy, it's hard to, whoop, there goes some antifreeze. Oh, let's just wait. Is there somewhere I could catch it? I'll make a mess on the floor. So it looks like you're going to have antifreeze leaking out of here. Try and catch it. Where is it falling now? I can hear it. Oh, it's falling somewhere else. It's running along the frame or whatever and falling towards the back. Whatever. Will this one even come out? It will. Wow, the top one will. I'm catching in my little catch pan now. And of course it's leaking somewhere else now. You just see it pouring out. In here, green. Well, that's leaking everywhere. It looks like I'm catching most of it. Let me try this one here. If you like tinkering with vehicles, get a set of these ratcheting wrenches. They are sweet, except for this one I got to figure out how to stop the floppiness. Probably have to take it apart. We can jam something in there. What is this brand? Oh, it's the Canadian brand. It's Canadian Tire's Top Line Maximum or whatever. So maybe get a warranty for the floppiness. I wonder. I might be able to. Can try if I can't fix it. This guy will come out. Well, shall we continue? Take this one off. I don't know about this bottom one. We'll figure it out. And just give me a minute. I'll take them off. I'm gonna try and. I don't suggest this, but. I don't know how the pump comes out. I don't know if I want to find out. Oh, holy. Sure this was going to turn. Darn. I don't think that's going to work. Well, we knew it was a dumb idea, didn't we, Hall? I'm going to mess around a little bit and see where some bolts are here. I can see a bolt actually. What the heck is that? That's like a. I don't think that's one. It's one way down. You just go through the hole. Sorry, you guys can't see that. I need to. Well, I'll get this on there and then you guys will see it. Oh, I can actually see that. Almost see it. Come on. Really? How can I be missing it? Huh. It's playing around. I think it's a 13. That again. I'd like to know where I lost my big 13 millimeter. This should work. That on there. The heater comes back on. So there's gotta be. Oh. Just a minute here. Still not great. And you won't like that I'm going to be in here. Sorry for your blocking your view. You know what I'm doing, so. There we go. This has got to be the guy. Wow. Something there. The bolt to something. I'm sure it's a bolt to what we're trying to get at here. We'll undo that, see if the pump moves. Getting tougher and tougher to do by the minute, isn't it, guys? Well, this, is that as far as it goes? Come on. Mr. Bolt. Wow, not much room there. They sure built these for working on, didn't they? Not like the old cars when I grew up. Well, I'm not that old, but it had a lot of stuff from the 70s. You know, the Dodge Darts and all that kind of stuff. You could sit in the engine bay almost. Well, there's one bolt. And I'm feeling around, it looks like there's a bolt on top. Imagine it's the same size. If I can get this sitting the right way. Well, there you go. Get a little light in there. There you go. You can maybe see it that way all the way through. Loosen that guy, see what happens. Does the pump fall or hope not? Ah. Whoa, one of my lights goes. Appreciate you guys watching anyway, and hopefully this isn't too boring, but if you were doing one of these, you know, I have to give props to the guys that show you how to do this kind of stuff. I got a couple of my favorites like South Main Auto, or there's a few others there. There's Ivan, Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Although it is a lot of electronic stuff. But at least they show you and try and light stuff up. Oh, that looks like that's going to work. Because I've seen guys where they're trying to show you this and they're in the way, which happens, but then they won't light anything up. And you can't really see what kind of issues you're going to have. You know what? We might have enough room to get at it now. Maybe? No, maybe not. Let's pull it all the way off already. This was up here, wasn't it? It's this bolt here. Okay. Should be able to get at this other one now, shouldn't we? Not even sure what that is. I think the other ones were 10s, weren't they? Let's try that. Let's zoom in a little bit and you can see what I've been complaining about. So it's this bolt right here, right? It's on the pump, but behind the wheel from the power steering pump. Zooming back out. Let's try and get that baby off of there. She's pretty tight. Again, I guess if it goes into the antifreeze, it might be a little bit corroded or something. Not the hardest thing we've ever fixed before, but this is a pain in the butt. At least I don't need the car tomorrow. This is a Friday I'm doing it. Or a Thursday, sorry. I need to get to work Friday morning, and my wife's got the day off, so she says I can use her van, which is that Dodge Caravan we usually work on. There's the odd issue with that. Ouch! I've got a heater beside me that's cooking me. It's a kerosene heater, plus you hear the electric ones, but they just never seem to make stuff warm enough fast enough. Of course, this kerosene one, kerosene ain't cheap either. Come on. Getting impatient already. And I shouldn't, because, you know, is it patience a virtue or something? It's good to be patient, but I guess we could say, hey, we're making ourselves, I don't know. Doesn't take long to spend $500, right? So we got the pump ourselves and got not a bad deal on that. And then this labor, I don't know how long this is taking, but taking some time. There's a mower antifreeze. And as it hits the bucket, every time we pull one out, needs to be a new bucket. Using margarine containers to catch the little guys. Pouring out pretty good. Here we thought we got enough antifreeze out. So what do we have left? We've got this bolt here, right? There's one underneath, which I can't see. Can you guys see it under there? Probably not. We'll just feel around, figure out what that is. And we're wiggling. I got my little ratchet in here. Wow. That's crazy. And more tools falling. We're on the home stretch though, guys. If I can get this out with my fingers. And it looks like I can't. I'm gonna try a 3/8 ratchet. Little guy here, wrench. Maybe it'll be easier. Just like impossible to get into. Wherever it went. Wow. Plus every time you drop the socket you need like a string on it or something. Can't even see where you are, little guy. Or gal. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Except I don't know if I have room. But, oh, maybe it's turning it. We're gonna have fun putting that back in. Of course, they put this whole thing together before it goes in the car, right? That's why. Let's skip ahead. Still going after about 30 seconds or more here. Wow. Well, it's just turning it a little bit, right? How long is this darn thing anyway? Probably as long as the other ones were. My finger's holding it from turning the other way when I let go of this thing, but... Oh. Well, I can throw it past here now. Is it done? I think it is. Ooh, it's just a little guy too. Oh, don't drop it. Look at that, got the bolt, and I've got the wrench. Of course, it's on the ground now. Oh boy. Okay, one more, right? Just this guy up here, and we should be good. Can we use the ratcheting guy on this? Oh, this is not loosened yet. Guys, why didn't you say something? You're probably screaming, right? That's not. Boy, that sure doesn't feel very good. Well, there we go. Oh, we're on the home stretch. At least I think I am. Now I looked at the gasket that comes with it is a metal gasket with an actual kind of a rubber gasket built onto it. So I'm hoping that is not gasket material here we got to scrape off or something. Can we hope that much? A bit of antifreeze there maybe too. Will this come off now? Yeah. Maybe. Nope, there's still another one back here. Take a look. There he is. Right there hiding. We're getting close. Not sure where the time is at the bottom of the screen, but, and of course there's been some little stop and starts here, but if it takes double what it did to watch it, that would probably be fair, right? Just if you're thinking of doing this. We'll figure that out, and I'll put it at the end of the screen there. Okay, now can we pull it off? Are we missing anybody else? I don't think so. We've got this guy out here, unless he's come back on, but look at the new pump. This is the new pump, and I believe we've got all our bolts off. So we can try and tap it maybe a little bit, just lightly. I've got a heater running again. Wow, man, where do you tap? Oh, that's good enough. Hardly have to even touch it. It's coming off. There we go. So remember the bolt in the bottom. I'm thinking we can just pull the whole thing out like this. See? That's how I'm going to reinstall it. Looks like more water coming out, or antifreeze. Try and pull this gasket material off. It's not going to come off as nice as we'd hope. You have to scrape it off. I'm going to use a plastic razor blade, so then we don't hurt anything. Ooh, maybe it'll come off fairly easy. Now, I'm going to get some flack for this, but I'm going to use a real razor blade. Be trying to be very careful, which is easy to say. You just don't want to mark up this surface and then cause leaks or whatever. Well, after probably 10 minutes of grueling cleanup, I was able to get that out of there. Pieces that were still left over. So, got it out anyway, and it's all nice and clean, so that's what you want. You want nothing left there. It is good. Let's put it on. I'll put the gasket on, and it's nice that it's a metal gasket, and I'm thinking it'll just sit on these little things. There's a little guy down there, and there's one up there. They're little guides, they're little pins. Grab a new water pump. And we need a bolt. And that bolt was down there, wasn't it? I think it was the bottom big guy. So I'll just try and sit that in there. Just like the way we took it out. Darn lights. It's moving around here on me. Bolts in there. And wherever. There you go. So far so good. If we can stay there. Stay! Well, we're going to try with some of these top ones first, just to hold it on. Goes in that pin. We'll put this guy in here first. Trying to follow directions. This doesn't say anything about putting any sealant on the bolts before I put them in, so I don't know. Guess the guy could. That's looking better all the time, huh? Just re-looking at the instructions. The instructions aren't very good. That's all I can say. They talk a little bit too about torquing to spec and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't tell me the specs. One spec I found when I was looking earlier, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We'll just have to find out what the majority say. That spec said something about what's going on here? Look, that goes in, but this one doesn't. What's a pinhole? One of the specs talked about so many foot-pounds and then almost like you're doing heads where you torque them, but they didn't give us new bolts, so I'm thinking that I've never seen that on a pump before. So we'll just see what happens here. I'm doing that bottom bolt. Oh, it's finally tightening up, man. Not an easy thing to get at. And don't know what the torque is going to be on that, so I have to look it up in a book or try and do some online looking. Still have a few more bolts to do. This one at the back to do. You know, since I have it apart and I went on the wire wheel and I cleaned it up a little bit. This one goes in here. Now when we do torque it, it should torque to what it's supposed to torque to, hopefully. That binding and whatever. Oh, it's kind of greasy though. You know, greasy. Now is it this guy? Got too many tools out right now. It is this guy. It is what, a 10 or something? It needs a little thumb drive. Try and get it in a little easier. Got some room. Ratcheting. It wasn't very much money. You could check these out. This is a Titan. I don't know what I paid for it. It reverses too if you want. Well, that made it a lot easier. That went in. Got this one down here. Why didn't I use this before, guys? Graduated to the ratcheting wrench because it's just easier. At least we have a few tools. You don't have to spend a whole lot on a lot of tools, but see what you've been using a lot of. You see some deals on some stuff. If you like tinkering. Okay, that's that one. The nice thing about cleaning up your bolt heads and that with we put everything together. Is this going to go in here? Yes, it does. Is when, you know, if you were to sell the car, well, they should be able to see it's a new water pump, but the bolts are nice and clean too. That always helps. The thumb drive fit on there. Yeah, I think the ratcheting thing will work better. It's just slimy, and now it doesn't want to. I can't grab it. Oh, there we go. It's going in, but oh, it just feels so slimy, and I've cleaned it. Well, I didn't clean it with cleaner. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe the next one. I just get that baby in there. Let's not forget there's another one in here. Wow. Thumb drive maybe on here. A lot of times the money you save on buying the tools for the first time you do, if you use the tools again, you know, like I don't know what they charge for this. There's a couple. Let's say it's 3 hours at $100 an hour, which would be a good deal, I guess. $300, man. You can buy lots of tools for $300. They don't have to be the greatest tools. Not like you're a mechanic using them every day. So, there you go. And remember, this one here is just it isn't a bolt. It's just like a pinhole. There's a pin holding there. So it turns out, according to, I don't know, consensus on the internet, 115 inch-pounds is what we're looking for. I've got a little longer guy here because it's going to be hard to get in. Oh, it's going to be in between, is it? Wow. One is just too long, one is too short. I'm going to come under these brackets here and see if I can get in here, but I'll tell you, it's just not easy. So the consensus, like I mentioned, was what? What do we say it was? It was 115 foot-pounds, right? Or inch-pounds, sorry. So I'm going to do half of that right now. Whoop, there we go. And I kind of want to crisscross, but it's pretty hard to do crisscross. Boy, these things sure do not move very much. Okay. Is there something lower we could do? We could do that one, but it's bigger. Wow. This is supposed to be crisscross. Pretty hard to do crisscross. That's that one. Here's this one. What else do we have? Did we do this one? I don't think so. And we'll do that one, and I think that's all of them for this step, right? I may have done something. I don't know. We'll see. At least, oh, okay, that one's done. Did I do that one? Ah, that's one we didn't do. Okay, let's try the bottom one again. Do the step over. Guess we can do, because we did that. Let's do this top one. There we go. And then we'll do this one. Ooh. Okay. Then we'll do the bottom one here. We didn't do the bottom one. Did we? It seems tight enough. Okay. Just tight enough. Then I think all we have is this guy right here. Make it up to 115. Just, there we go. Guess that's everybody. I did cheat. Show you how I cheated. Put the old pump here, and I had a felt pen. So you see I started marking when I did that one, then when I did that one, and I kept marking as I was going to. I did stop for a second there, so that might be an idea. Now I'm just gonna spray top of the power steering pump, since I can see the thing here. Hopefully I don't want to take the writing off it. There you go, that's good enough. Now we can read it. Let's actually put it right side up. Not so easy to get at, is it? Is there even stuff in there? Yes, there is. Okay. Good. I'm going to turn it right away so we can read it. It's had a life of oil all over it. Here you go. You see that okay? Now, see if we can set that pump back where it belongs. It belongs up here somehow. Just gonna see with another light if I can actually see where I'm supposed to be going. And the answer is not really. Trying to feel around, but I see a bolt below. It's supposed to be way up here somewhere. That's where it is. Goes up. Up here somehow. Maybe right there. If I can grab another tool, now that would be nice. This is where you could use a buddy again. Larry would help me if he was here. Can I at least get that to thread? Not. Oh, maybe. It might be. Just hold on, guys. It's a 13 millimeter. So hopefully, not losing anything here. Sorry, guys. Ouch. Wouldn't that be nice if that's going in? Chances are, you know what? I hit the hole. Amazing. Amazing. And I just surprise you guys sometimes, if you're long-time followers. Am I losing it now? Don't want to make it too tight because I might have to move it around a little bit to get the other one in, right? I'm turning it as we go this way. I'm turning it too. Like spinning it like this. Just because it's got a long way to go. We're on the home stretch though. Aren't you happy? At least we know how to do the next one. Or you'll know how to do yours. Now, it's got to go through the pump first, so it's got somewhere to just run into, like it'll sit there. And hopefully the pump is sitting at the right angle, which I doubt. Looks like we jiggle it around a little bit. Is it threading into anything? I don't know. I'd say yes. I'd say we did good with that too. And who said this was going to be really a tough thing to move this pump? I was worried. I don't know what this is supposed to be torqued to, or if we even can torque it to that. I guess we can look it up, right? Let's probably do that. I don't want it coming off, although the car is so old. Do you think it's gonna be driven? Quick break, and I couldn't find what I want to find, so I'm just gonna make them tight. It's not like it doesn't leak or nothing because of this, so these are pretty big bolts. Once you go, you know it's tight enough, right? Where's the... Hard to find this other one. If you can line the... Good enough. Hey, I'll put the pulley back on. Remember, it's got these, so if you just kind of try and spin it around, hopefully it'll find itself. Or it won't. There you go, it did find where it goes. What's better than the idea I had last time when I had this apart, because I thought we could tighten the water pump. I used toothpick or something like that in there to try and get the holes to align, if you remember. Thought I was so smart. And the last one. We're gonna have to remember to tighten them up when we're gonna torque them too. When we get the belt on, just because it's gonna be hard to do this when this thing moves around like this so much. Now remember, the size of those are 8mm socket or whatever. This is what I used. I thought I had my 8mm wrench has gone missing. Oh well. Oh, this one's loose yet. All pretty tight. Okay, belt time. I have to remember how this all goes now. Goes around the crank. It's going to be underneath the bottom. Then it goes around this pulley, I think. Then it goes around your power steering pump. You can get that done. Screws go in the pump, and then it comes back up to there. Plus, if you have air conditioning, which this has, or at least thinks it has, that goes on the one below. Uh-oh. Too far? What happened here? Oh, man. So, we're all in trouble. Let me just try and get the slack out of this. This isn't something easy to do. I'll draw a diagram after I see what I did wrong. So this goes straight across like this. What the problem is, this is supposed to go, I believe, up, and it goes around that pulley. That's the problem. So we have to do, or put it around the pulley first. And then when we pull this back, we can sit that on there. We need another two big guys, right? That guy. And another one. We pull them which way? How does this even... Yeah. Don't let it slip off because it'll be a major issue. Just that one big bar, that would be the really right way to do this. Ah. Wow. Well, that's better, except it's not on the... let's try that again. Should get the right kind of tool for this, but may not have this car much longer. Get your fingers caught in there, would you now? Here we go. Well, here's my little map of how to route the belt properly. It's not exactly to scale, but if you follow it, and that tension actually leans back a little more than that, but that's for this engine, the 1996 with a 3800. It may be different on different years. Okay. Actually, what we want to do is I don't want it to actually start. I just want it to turn over a couple times in case the belt chews up or something. Here's the trick. Hold it right to the floor. Don't you let go. And you can crank as long as you want. Let's take a look. The belt's still on? It is. Well, let's let it run and see what everything's working. Sounds okay. Well, I have to do now is put some antifreeze in it. I'm just going to pour some of this back in. This might be a good time if you've never changed it to maybe put some fresh in. It's about minus 20, minus 30 in the Celsius. Arr. 50-50 mix, if that's what you like. Whoops, dirt in there, don't want that to go in. How are we doing? It looks like I'm gonna have to run it to actually get it to go down a little more. Well, maybe not. We'll see if we can fill this first. There's tons, yeah. Maybe we'll put some in this other container too. Just because there's nothing in there. There you go. They've got this little bleeder valve here. So you take a screwdriver and you just open it a little bit and you'll hear it hiss a little bit as it hisses all the air out. there's a little hole just underneath here. Just underneath here. Maybe I can get it and show you. See it there? It'll let the air out from under there till it starts, you know, leaking a little bit of antifreeze, and then just tighten it up again. Do it when it's a little warm. It can even be hot. Of course, a lot of steam's going to come out of this, so be very careful. But that's my little tip. You're going to have to, like I say, if you've bled before, antifreeze the air out of it, you'll figure this out. Okay, it's time to put this piece back on. Another 10 millimeters, you remember? Might be easier if you do the back ones first. That way you'll know where the front ones go. I'm just gonna put them in by hand. You may want to put some goo on them just in case, just for, well, you know, to keep them from rusting any more than they already are. I already had some goo in them before, probably could use some more goo, but something I found that works pretty good is something called fluid film. Okay. Still missing a couple for the front here. Okay. Let's see if we can get these in. Here's my basic tool list. Hopefully this will help you out if you have no tools at all, or maybe you're missing one or two of these things. I think this will work if you have these. Don't forget some kind of a drain pan. I'm not sure how much I drained out of there. It must have been 6 quarts or liters-ish. Maybe let's add something to the list there. How about a funnel too? That might help.